Hello and welcome back to Europe 1100. We have just taken Paris with the help of Mr. Horse Thief. I'm extremely pleased that he was actually there to provide some assistance. And, well, we haven't leveled up just yet. I did actually get to 150 in bows, so I have taken Discipline, which allows us to aim for 50% longer without losing any accuracy. Otherwise, apart from that, not much has changed. I am almost at 200 athletics. I would like to get there at some point, but funnily enough, in the Paris siege, I didn't get off my horse. Which is actually quite funny, because we literally just took down the walls and then rode our horse straight in there. I did some damage with my bow and so on and so forth. Hopefully he's actually gonna come along here and help me out. We're gonna choose the owner here. We're gonna make this guy the owner. And yeah, I'm just kind of trying to spread out the amount of thieves that we have now and the ownership of them so that they're not all in one basket, even though I know for certain that Mr. Horse Thief isn't actually going to be leaving us at all, but you never know. Sometimes maybe there's going to be some random thing that happens and that would be absolutely awful, wouldn't it? Anyway, we're just going to get our trebuchets up as standard. I did actually also eliminate another very large army of the French. Thankfully, they only had levies and militia crossbowmen and so on and so forth, so it was very simple. I literally only had to auto-resolve against them, and that was a victory. I took 7 casualties, if you can believe it. Yes, 7 casualties, really not very difficult at this point, because, again, the enemy is basically on the back foot. They don't have anything to speak of that is going to be extremely damaging to us. And that's something I think that we've got to remember, you see. You have to remember that this particular opponent has been basically beaten on for a very long time so far. And I think that a lot of people tend to forget that kind of thing, because you see exactly what's happening right now. This is the last thief they have. Just bear that in mind. This is literally the last thief. No, see, I'm thinking about Mr. Horse Thief, aren't I? Anyway, this is the last thief they have. I'm actually going to just go straight on in there now that my battering ram is done. But yeah, this is the last thief they have. They have an extremely low combat strength. So of course, their armies are not going to be that difficult to defeat, you know? Because I think I saw a comment, or I'm not entirely sure whether it was on this series or whether it was on another series now, because let's face it, I am running quite a few series at the moment. Anyway, the point is, this is just a generalized statement here as well. Pretty much how it goes is, if you are fighting a faction that is relatively weakened, then the enemy armies are of course going to be quite simple to beat. And, you know, we shouldn't expect them to provide the same kind of... How did I get killed? Oh, that's so funny. Alright, well, there you go. You know what that is? That is literally the recording curse right there. That is literally the recording curse, because when I was playing in the other siege at Paris, I took 0 damage, and I was able to get, I don't even know, I think like 10 kills or something, nothing too dramatic. But I was literally able to just go in there, be completely untouched, did massive damage with my sledgehammer and my bow, and that was it. Super nice and easy. Anyway, as I was saying before, I was really interrupted by that wonderful headshot. Didn't even know who was actually shooting at me. I was kind of trying to ascertain that particular thing, but apparently I was a bit late. Yes, so as I was saying, basically how it goes, and this is just a generalized statement right here, is if a faction, I mean, it stands to reason logically that this would literally be why that happens, you know, because obviously if the enemy is defeated again and again and, you know, and again, they are inevitably going to be put in a situation where they can't do much. And they're not going to have a lot of money. They're not going to have a lot of money, and as a result, if they don't have a lot of money, they're not going to be able to field as large of an army as they want to, they're not going to be able to upgrade their forces as they want to, and so on. So, you know, generally you've got to consider that that is indeed the case, because I think I think it was actually on, I think it was on part 19 or something like that, I saw the comment, and it was like I think it was saying something like what was it now, this is way too easy or something like that, and I was like, well, yeah, it is easy now, but it wasn't easy before, you know what I mean, because these factions that we're fighting now have been destroyed by us over the course of many episodes. So of course it's gonna be easier, you know, of course it's gonna be easier at that point, because we've done all the work, you know, we've done all the hard work, and my forces have been doing a fantastic job. Most notably, Mr. Horse Thief has been doing a great job. But that's it. You know, I've got new vassals now as well, by the way. Of course, you know, I do have new vassals, but they're not really doing too much as it stands right now. But, you know, when we first began, it was pretty tricky, you know? It was pretty tricky. We had to actually start over in Ireland over there, and then we had to sweep on down. But this is exactly my point. If you take a look at the diplomacy screen right here, look at this guy. He's got 8,100. These guys have 8,100. And we've got the Roman Empire, who has 12,000. Obviously, right now, we've got 11,000 combat strength, but you see how much potential the Roman Empire specifically has to absolutely beat on us. They have so many clans available, and they are indeed going to be using all of those clans to deal damage to us. Alright, so I've sold all my stuff, or as much stuff as I can really handle. Obviously I can sell some more, but there's no real point in doing that. Otherwise, I've placed some extra cash in the manage town menu, and hopefully we're going to get a nice little vote. There we go, there's the vote. Now we can give this to someone. I'm actually not entirely sure who to give it to. I guess I'll give it to this fellow. And yeah, we are now done with the French, so they have been completely eliminated. And now what do we want to do? Because I know for certain that we have a 100% support for war against the Roman Empire. Oh, we did. We did. Now we have a 71% chance, or a 71% support for that. No one else actually has any. Huh. I actually want to attack the Holy Roman Empire. All things considered, I actually want to attack them, because we're currently paying them 3,400, and I think that that is absolutely ridiculous. I don't think that we really should be paying a weaker faction not to attack us, right? But, you know, the main issue that we're having is that the Roman Empire is basically right here. They're right here, right next to us. These blue icons right here are all the same person as far as I'm aware. Are they? I think so. Yeah, it's all the same person that owns these things, which is actually hilarious. But we could technically sweep down over here, and we might be able to take some of these. Is this? No, that's Denmark. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, but the Holy Roman Empire owns... Oh, they own a lot of stuff, and there's obviously these... Well, there's obviously a mountain range here, which is going to be a big problem. That is going to be an issue for us. That is going to be a pretty big problem, but maybe I don't know. Maybe we should go for it, you know? Maybe we should just go for it. We have an army there of 729. Someone has literally just formed an army of 729. I can't believe it. But what I am going to do is we're going to push through a war declaration on the Holy Roman Empire, and hopefully Mr. Horse Thief and his friends will be able to do a relatively decent job here. I myself am going to go over to these other... Okay, why does this not work? Why can I not click on this? Look at that, my character doesn't move. Alright, so there we go. Never mind, I'll just move the old-fashioned way then. And yeah, basically what I want to do is I want to get some food. Yes, I want to get some food. Here we go. Okay, yeah, this is exactly what we need. Thank you. I'm just going to use the slider bar. That's a lot easier. And then we'll just buy all of this. Do we have some hardwood available here as well? Because I wouldn't mind actually doing some smithing, because I wouldn't mind creating... Oh, wow. Yeah, okay, fine. Sure. One skill point. How many skill points do I have in smithing? I think I have 0, right? I think I literally have 0, so that's obviously going to be a bit of a problem, isn't it? Okay, well, I have a huge amount of weapons. I do have a huge amount of weapons, so I might as well make the most of them. And we're just going to get to... Oh, wow, that was way too fast, and we're not getting that much level up whatsoever. Oh, my. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of an issue, isn't it? Yes. I do need some more focus points in this, in my opinion. Otherwise, this is just absolutely ridiculous. There we go. Okay, we finally got to smithing 25. It's painful, isn't it? It's absolutely painful when you don't have any focus points in a particular skill. It really is. One thing I could actually do, I'm not sure if I can actually create something right now. Let me have a look. Yeah, so here we go. This is what we currently have available to us. This is just awful, as you could quite clearly tell. I mean, it's got 70 piercing damage, which is okay, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I think that's actually alright. Funnily enough, but I don't really want to use that, all things considered. I would much prefer to use something else. So it seems like we are going to have to continue doing a little bit of refining here. And a little bit of, well, other things, of course. So I'm literally just going to do this. There we go. Do this. There we are. And then we'll just get rid of all this stuff as well. We're going to get a lot of extra stuff, you know. A lot of extra resources and everything. And if push comes to shove, we can always sell all that stuff as well. And there we go. We now have, mistakenly clicking on Windows. That's great. Wonderful. Anyway, there we go. We're going to have to go for Curious Smelter, of course. That's obviously fantastic. Very, very good perk to go for here. And I am actually in possession of quite a lot of charcoal right now. I'm actually really, really pleased. Look at that. We are actually able to get a significant amount of skill from all of this stuff. Really, really pleased about this. And there we have it. Okay, I think that's probably going to be it for me. I'm just going to smelt the Pugios, and then that's basically it. You see how much fine steel we have, though? That's absolutely crazy. So, if I take a look and see how much fine steel actually sells for, it's 250 per one, and you can sell it at Orléans for 549. Obviously, you've got to bear in mind that if you were to do that, the amount of money that you would get per one would dramatically decrease very, very fast. So that's obviously a bit of an issue in itself. So you're not always going to get 550. You know, as soon as you've sold the first couple of things, you're not going to get 550 after that. So, you know, it's more of a short-term kind of deal. But yeah, as you can see, look at how many smithing parts I'm unlocking right now. So many smithing parts, and I'm hopeful that we'll, you know, once we've actually won more victories, we should be able to do something in regards to that as well. I'd like to actually go down here and take these things, but not sure how effective that's going to be. Oh yeah, we can go through here, and then we can go that way. Maybe. Yes, we can. Okay, so yeah, we're going to go and take Nice, and we're going to go there first. I was contemplating whether to call it nice or not, because I know that annoys people, so I was thinking maybe I would just, you know, troll them a little bit. You know, yeah, but you understand, you see. You understand that generally, sometimes I'm going to get some things wrong, you know, pronunciations and so on and so forth. I know it's Nice and not nice, but, you know, it's still amusing to think of, you know, naming some things a little bit incorrectly on purpose. But yes, anyway, let's go in here and have a look. Whoa, they have nothing. Are you serious right now? I'm actually really surprised. Okay, I was actually partially thinking they'd have at least, I don't know, 400, 500 in here, but they do not. So that's very interesting. I'm wondering what's actually going on with my vassals right now, because Mr. Hardy was eliminated. I'm not a big fan of that. I'd like him to, you know, support Mr. Horse Thief as much as possible, but apparently he's out of there. He's out of there. Strike 3, you know. He is absolutely out of there, so that's not particularly good, because he is definitely one of our stronger vassals. But Horse Thief, he's doing the great job. He's doing absolutely everything that we would want. Okay, yeah, so we're making peace with all the smaller factions now, of course, as well. and we are just going to destroy the walls and then just go straight on in here. I'm going to get rid of the trebuchets as well. I don't particularly see a point in keeping the trebuchets out. It is nighttime as well, so I'm just going to wait here for a little bit of extra time just to get back into daytime. Really don't like fighting at night. It's very difficult to see. And, you know, even though I can make it brighter for you, obviously, but for me personally, I'd like to be able to see so I can shoot some enemies. Yes, shoot some enemies. Now, if I can actually do that, that would be great. Okay, here we go. Are you joking? Are you gonna kill me again? Are you gonna kill me again? Yes, you might actually. Oh. you know, one of those. You know that. That is so disappointing. Ah, it's so disappointing. I was thinking to myself, you know what? This is gonna be different. You know, this is going to be different to how it was before. But the damage that I'm taking right now, just purely for the fact that I'm thinking to myself that I'm not gonna run into any enemies that are going to really do that much damage. But as soon as I think that, I run into quite clearly massive amounts of crossbowmen. I have no idea why they always place the crossbowmen in such great places. Now, this is, I'm going to give them credit where credit is due here, because obviously I'm going to do that. I'm not going to be salty about it or anything, because it's my own fault that I ran in there and got myself killed. Obviously. It's not the game's fault, or, you know, the crossbowmen being placed in random places or whatever. It is definitely my own problem there. But, and now here's the big but, you know, we like those and we cannot lie, right? Anyway, the point is, we are actually going to be making sure that we are a little bit more strategic in upcoming fights. Hopefully, they're going to go over there and actually try to prevent that from being taken. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Both of these... Mr. Horse Thief has 1,200 troops now. Okay. Well... we're going to need him. We're going to need him. I'm actually going to be, you know what? I'm actually going to be thinking right now that he's going to get himself defeated. What do you think? I think he's probably going to get himself defeated, but hopefully he won't. Going to give this to him, even though I'm not really liking his chances right now. I think he's... it doesn't feel to me like he's doing a particularly good job, but we're going to give those... we're going to give it to him anyway. And now we have Geneva here. And we're going to see if we can actually take that. Okay. Is he actually doing well, Mr. Horse Thief? I think he might be. I mean, 1,200 troops. I mean, how can you fail with 1,200 troops? I don't know. But, you know, if anyone can fail, it's going to be him or me. So, you know, thankfully it's not me in command of all of those. But what I really, really love about the AI in Europe 1100. I don't know why, but they always seem to be a little bit more effective than you would normally think. Because if you think about, you know, how they are in the base game, usually they're not really going to be that helpful. Sometimes they will be, you know, sometimes I'm going to give them, you know, a fair assessment. Sometimes they're okay, but most of the time they're not. You know, most of the time they're literally just going to think to themselves, you know what, I'm going to run in the opposite direction, and I'm not going to help you one bit. That kind of thing. Sometimes they'll do that, most of the time they'll do that. So, you know, that's not particularly good. However, in Europe 1100, I've always found that these companions, or shall we say the companions that you make into vassals, they always seem to be, well... shall we just say, the very few people that you initially make into vassals, because obviously Mr. Horse Thief, I think, was he our first vassal? I think he was our first vassal. So it could very well be that the first vassal gains some kind of bonus that allows them to do, well, to do this kind of stuff, where they are actually capable of doing some pretty crazy maneuvers. And I'm actually super pleased with that, to be honest, because without him, I think we would be having a huge stalemate right here, and it would be very, very difficult. Anyway, let's have a look-see here. I don't really care about anything here. I guess I'll go for... Uplifting Spirit. Yep. Uplifting Spirit, why not? Alright, so let's go straight on in. They are without walls, but they still have their garrison intact, which is obviously fine. You know, because I'm not gonna wait 28 days to get the starvation mechanic, you know, activated, and you know, that's not. Oh, that was fantastic. They got absolutely murdered by one of our trebuchets right there. That's actually hilarious. I wasn't expecting that. That's for sure. For some reason, I'm always really bad at shooting now for some reason. I don't know what's going on with that. What's really funny, though, is that usually, and like I said to you beforehand, when I was actually by myself in the Siege of Paris, I was on point. I was doing damage like it was breathing, basically, you know? I was hitting every single shot, and most of the shots were headshots, and I was taking very little damage. And it was just a beautiful spectacle. But obviously now, no, that's not really happening. What a classic. Can I hit this guy? Nope. Nope. Oh well. That's sad, isn't it? Now, one thing that I did actually notice, which I've got to say I personally feel is really, really cool. And this is a thing that you may not have realized. I don't know, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But basically, if you have your mount, you're able to pass through your own lines very easily. And this makes it a lot simpler for you to be able to get inside in a siege. So I'd recommend, if you do have the walls down, don't get off your mount just yet. Go in on your mount, get inside, and if you don't want to fight on the mount, then obviously you can dismount if you like at that point, or you can do like I'm doing, and you can search for you know, a couple of enemies to fight here and there, and so on. But I feel as though when you do it like this, where you actually use your mount to go through your friendly troops, it actually provides you a bonus to movement, and it gives you sort of like a priority for your mount to get through from a game mechanics perspective. So it actually makes a huge difference to how maneuverable you are in a siege. And I'd highly recommend trying it out yourself. It's really, really useful. I found that in the previous siege, like I said, Paris, for example, I was able to literally just go straight through my own forces with very little resistance. Oh, that guy disappeared just at that exact moment. What a sad state of affairs this is, especially considering I'm hitting for almost 100 damage, but that's not going to be enough to eliminate people in one hit, which is very sad indeed, but oh well. Anyway, yes, so yeah, give it a go, give it a go. The horse infiltrator, that's what we'll call it, the horse infiltrator. It seems like Beartilde is actually killing people with the trebuchet as well. She actually just leveled up her engineering skill, which is very funny. And we're getting some very, very lovely headshots here. Oh yeah, look at that guy. He just crumpled down into the street right there. Oh wow, okay. We got some terrible shots following that one up, didn't we? Alright, let's just speed things up, and then we should be good. And now I'm going to go into the marketplace, obviously, and we're just going to sell all of our stuff. And I might do a little bit of smelting as well, because very much dependent on how many weapons we've gotten so far, could be useful. Obviously, the main problem that we are going to have is, do we have enough weapons, or should we say money, to be able to survive? I think we probably do, because as you can see, we're actually gaining a significant amount of money from, you know, from armor and stuff like that, but I'm a bit worried about it generally, because while it is, I don't know, while it is quite lucrative, I'm not sure if we have enough to really sustain ourselves. I think we do, as you can quite clearly see. I mean, look at how much I'm gaining right now. We're going to gain another, what, 50,000, 60,000 or so? And that's it. That's all I have. So yeah, 60,000. I obviously have a bunch of range weapons and so on. I have 28 Pugios. But there, yeah, obviously that's another point. I have a bunch of other things. Like, for example, I have these marksman flags, steel banners. I also have a bunch of fine steel here as well. So technically, I could get all of that, and then we would be in a really, really good position as well. So I'm actually pretty happy with how we are doing so far in terms of money, even though my money situation is precarious. It is very, very precarious. It is definitely not something that I am going to be thinking to myself, oh no, we're going to go bankrupt in the next 2 days. No, we are going to be absolutely fine. It's just a case of keeping an eye on it, shall we say. Anyway, Nice has come under siege, so I'm going to go back there and see what's actually going on. Hopefully it's not a large army. Henry the Fourth, hello there, sir. You actually have a pretty decent army. What do you say we spice things up a little bit with a field battle? I think that sounds like a fun idea. I probably should have saved before we went in here, shouldn't I? I am now thinking to myself that I have literally just signed my death warrant because I'm wondering whether it's going to crash. Hopefully it won't. But yeah, let's actually see what's happening here. Okay, so I've got 75 infantry. That's actually pretty decent. Let's get them over there. The main problem with the infantry right now is that, well, not sure how mobile they can be. And we're going to have to deal with the enemy's cavalry as well. And there's a lot of them. Oh, he hit me from there? Really? Really? With a one-handed? Okay. Wow, actually kind of surprised about that. And that guy couldn't hit me. Oh, and he had a spear. Yeah, I guess the angle really made a huge difference, I guess, huh? Oh well, never mind. Okay, we're going to put these guys into a shield wall formation as well. We're going to tell these guys to charge in, counter-charge against the enemy's cavalry. Going to tell these guys to go into an auto-delegate, because they are horse archers, of course. And they're probably going to do the best they can with an auto-delegate order. And otherwise... oh yeah, there we go. We're just going to try and very much target down the enemy's cavalry if we can. They are the main reason why we're going to have any issues whatsoever. Are these guys actually charging in? Yeah, it seems like they are. Okay, we're going to have to do a little bit of charging in ourselves with our infantry in just a moment. Let's charge them in so that they can actually close the distance on some people. And... aha! Okay, so the enemy's archers are really not doing much. But, as you may expect, I'm not going to be that effective dealing with these fellows because they're just going to murder me. You know, they're just going to shoot me and I'm dead. You know. It's going to be a real big problem. Yep. There. Oh, yeah. I'm almost dead, basically. I'm almost dead, so we should really get out of here. I mean, the archers that the enemy has aren't really doing much anyway. They're actually being pretty useless all the way back there, so I don't think I really need to worry too much. And instead, I should probably just try to... I knew that was going to happen. As soon as I saw that guy swinging, I was like, yes... I'm going to die to this guy. And as soon as I saw him swinging, I thought, yeah, let me block. And then I didn't block. Yes. And then I didn't. So that was great. But we did take care of the army, so that's all that really matters at the end of the day. So I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, it's unfortunate that we are taking so many losses, though, here. So it may very well be the case. Oh, never mind. All right. This is nice. Okay. So let's just take as many high-tier troops as we can get our hands on. I am wondering whether I really want to take any more here. I probably won't take any more. 72! Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. That is actually incredible. Okay. Yep. We're going to have to, unfortunately... we're going to have to get rid of these. We're going to have to get rid of these, and these, and these, and there we have it. Okay, so I've got a lot of space. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all these so that I can increase my prisoner capacity. Because prisoner, if you don't know this, this is a pretty, you know, common knowledge kind of thing, but maybe if you don't know, then this is going to be interesting to you. But as you can see from the tooltip here, it confirms what I was just about to say. If you increase your party size, it increases how many prisoners you can take. So if you have the maximum, which is what I do right now, I have 357. If you do have the maximum, then you're going to be able to take the most prisoners that are possible. Now, bear in mind that obviously because I do have a number of wounded, it is going to mean that I will have much less in the way of capacity because I am wounded. So that's the thing. I don't know whether I can get away with taking more of them. I might be able to, so I'm going to try it. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe I will be able to sort of keep them around a little bit, and then we'll see. Maybe it's going to be good, maybe it won't, but I don't really care because we just want to make sure that we have the possibility of having something really amazing happen. And what I'm hoping to get, they actually took Nice, which is actually quite annoying. Alright, so we got the ownership vote right here. Thankfully, we were able to make our way back to Geneva because obviously the enemy army is coming right at us here. And I'd like to try and prevent that from, well, hopefully falling into the wrong hands. Because they've already taken Nice back, as you might expect. This guy actually has some really strong units, and you can see here that because of my overall casualties, we're going to be having some issues. So if I do go in to fight him, I wouldn't mind, you know how it is. I wouldn't mind if we actually have some people that can fight. Because if we don't have any people that can fight, that, actually know how to fight and are high enough tier, then we're going to have some issues. So you can see here, let's actually see what he has available. Yeah, as I thought. He's got 30 German noble knights, which are going to be extremely powerful. I think the Hungarian Ispan, I think they're going to be really, really harsh too, potentially. I'm actually not entirely sure what those are. Let's have a look. Yep. As I thought, they are okay. They're not amazing, but they are fine. They're all right. And do they have anything else here? I mean, they've got some relatively high tier, pretty much everything. So I'm going to have to wait here for some time. How many forces do we have here? We've got 202 militia. I don't think they're even going to be able to do anything. That fellow should really go over and actually do something, to be honest. He should really go over and take Nice back. I actually don't know whether he's done that yet. So hopefully he will. Because if he doesn't, I will be sorely disappointed, sir. Why isn't he taking it? There we go. He is actually taking it now. Not entirely sure why he's taking so long to do anything. And Mr. Horse Thief is wasting his time. Why is he wasting time so dramatically, by the way? We're going to have to... I feel like I should tell them to go on the offensive. Let's just do offense. And maybe they're actually going to do something, because it feels to me like they're wasting time quite badly. So I would like it if they would actually do something a little bit more proactive. And is this guy actually going in? Yes, he is. He is actually going in. This is quite funny. All right, so let's assault the siege. Oh, okay. Well, they're dead. We can just auto-resolve straight up. Boom, there you go. That is nice and easy. And we're maybe going to hopefully have the ability to get a bunch of, loads of level ups right here, because we took all those troops, of course. And we increased our overall overall combat strength, I suppose, as a result of that. But we've still got to be a bit careful, We've still got to be a little bit careful, because obviously if we're taking really low tier troops, it's going to be super difficult to actually get those leveled up appropriately without them dying. And we also need to bear in mind that those guys are going to always be really easy for enemies to kill, and it's not something that we can really rely on. We have to think to ourselves, oh, even though I have 340 something troops, I'm still going to be relatively weak because those particular troops are really low tier. So that's something that I have always tried to say, because in those situations, if you are constantly replacing higher tier troops that you've spent a long time leveling up with low tier troops that you've just rescued, then eventually more of your troops are going to be low tier than high tier, and so you're going to get that sort of like a fake appearance of strength, but you're actually not going to be that strong. and then you're just going to run into a really, really hard battle that you think is normally really easy, and it's going to just stomp. It's just going to stomp you, and that's what happens to me quite often in a number of other series. And it seems like one of our children has actually reached the next age. Let's go and get some athletics for him. There we go. Let's see. Wait. What else do we want here? Riding skill? Yeah, riding skill I think is probably pretty good. And he leveled up his intelligence. Okay. I think the random nature of leveling up children is a bit strange, because it's not like I don't know. I would like them to become certain things, but their random nature kind of makes it a bit difficult to make that work. But oh well, I suppose it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Okay, is this guy... Okay, so Mr. Horse Thief's traveling over to Geneva. I'm not sure why he is doing that. I would like him to actually do something like attack. Hopefully he will at some point. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.